Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and yes, I'm still on vacation, but today I'm indoors. I will be outdoors soon. I'm indoors because I want to show you this brand new C138 RC Era Bell 206 helicopter. So this is the box it comes in, and inside the box you'll find the heli, the remote, and all your accessories. And here we have the heli, and you can tell it's extremely well detailed. Now if you look really close at my face, you'll see two helis below my face. Why do I have two helis? Well, you'll find out shortly. First, let me tell you that RC Era is pretty smart because they made these helis configurable. In other words, when you buy them, you have choices. So you can get them in red or blue. You can get them with optical flow or without optical flow, and that is exactly why I have two. I have one that has an optical flow camera in the bottom and another one that does not. You can also get them with standard remotes or professional remotes. So I have the two professional remotes. They might look like toy remotes, but compared to the standard remote, they're not bad. Oh, and with these radio controllers, even if you get the standard or the professional, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but the flight range is about 150 meters. I'll put what that is in feet. And finally, they run on these little 2-cell batteries, and you can get them with 1, 2, or 3 of these batteries. And if you have these batteries, you'll get a flight time of 12 minutes. Now, these helis are designed for beginners, so if you're a beginner watching this and you want to get your first heli, you can't go wrong with either of these. They are designed to fly indoors and outdoors. They do have a barometer in them. What does that mean? That means if you take off and you're flying at, I don't know, this high, it stays that height until you bring it down or raise it. They also each have a 6-axis gyro. What does that mean? That means if you're flying and you bank to the sides, it will not flip upside down and crash. It will only bank a little bit, so it will stay stable in the air. Now for weight, of course, these helis weigh next to nothing, and they are equipped with lights so you can fly them at night and have it look pretty cool. And the final thing to say is the price. The price is extremely inexpensive. I believe these are less than $100 US, and the reason they are less than $100 US is because the motors for the main rotor and for the tail rotor are brushed motors. Now when it comes to helicopters, if you have brush motors on a helicopter, the only difference is the power. When you crank on the power to go straight up, there's less power with a brush motor than with a brushless motor. The odds of your brushed motors dying in the year 2024 are pretty slim. Brush motors work for an awfully long time in the year 2024. So my plan today is to fly both of these helis indoors and then take them outdoors. The one with optical flow should see the ground, and it should hover nice and still. Maybe move up and down a little bit, but it shouldn't go all over the place. The one without optical flow that does not have the camera on the bottom, that costs less, should hover as well, but it will move a lot more. It will be up to me to control it a bit more than the one with optical flow. So let's try them out. So as you can see, this heli has no optical flow on the bottom. All there is a big hole where the optical flow would go. So to get this powered on, you take the 2-cell battery, which is easily rechargeable by USB-C on the side, and you just pop it in. It slides right in. Push it on one finger. You'll hear clicks. There we go. And then hold down the power button. It will power on. Look at the little front. You'll see a headlight come on, a little searchlight. It's blinking. That's good. Let's plop this down. Next, you take your remote and you power it on. Little red light comes on. Then you look at your heli, that blinky light, and you want that blinky light to go solid by moving the left joystick up and down. Let go, and it should go solid. There we go. We're ready to fly. Now on your remote, on the top left-hand side, you have speeds 1, 2, and 3 for indoors. Leave it on speed number 1. To take off, you have a button over here on the top right-hand side. It says take off or land. It's that simple. You press it once, this thing will start up and fly straight up in the air. So we're going to do that here. All right, I'm squished down back here. I'm going to press that take off and land button. There we go. See you later, heli. There she goes. Now remember, there's no optical flow, so there's nothing to keep it still in the air. But you know what? Look at this. Look at this. It's drifting, but it drifts ever so slightly. This is totally controllable indoors. Here, watch, I'll even bring it down. I'm gonna make sure I don't crash into either light on the side, but yeah, look at that. No optical flow, and it does a pretty good job. Pretty good here. Maybe it's because I have the upgraded remote. It's very easy. The joysticks are really good on here, like a professional one. That was coming close to the face. Yeah, so let's fly it around the house. Let me stand up and take it up and go around the house. All right, let's go through the house now. Whipping through the house, try not to step on things on the ground. All right, easy to fly. This has no optical flow. Once again, I have to say that, no optical flow. It's just using 6-axis gyro and barometer. And look at this, I can fly it around the house. It's not giving me much of assistance, but yeah, flies well. You can go sideways, forwards, you can rotate it. Now, obviously you don't want to crash into your walls, but it's flyable. So yeah, let's bring it over here. I'll bring it back down. And I'll hit that button to land it. And then I'll control it as it goes down. So it gets over the landing pad. There we go. I landed right on my little camera down there, but she's down. That's awesome. All right, so I'll power off this one with no optical flow, put it over to the side, turn off the remote, and I'll grab the one with optical flow camera on the bottom. So down here you can see on the bottom there is a camera in this one. So this should be more stable in the air when we're flying. Same idea, let's slam a battery in there, clink, and turn on the power button. There we go, it comes to life, put it down, make sure your blades are kind of straight. I'll take the remote for this one, power it on, move the joystick up and down so the blinky light stops. There we go. I can see the tail light stop blinking and it's nice and solid, so we're ready to go. Right, so let's hit the button and see if it's true, if the optical flow actually helps it or makes it worse. Going up. Well, you know what? It makes it worse. It's not very good. Hang on a sec. Let me get it over the landing pad here. I'll let it hover a bit. It's supposed to look at the ground. I can let go of everything. No, it's drifting. It's drifting. Can I get it now? Is it locking? It's kind of locking itself in place, but it is drifting to the right. I got to control it. So I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I would not worry if you get optical flow or not. So it's working. Now that I say it's not working, it's working. There, that's what optical flow is supposed to do. All right, let me fly it around the house. Okay, same idea. I'll bring it up so it's at head height, and here we go. I'll tell you if there's any difference flying it around the house. When you're in a forward motion, there's really no difference. Optical flow doesn't do much, but I will say it does seem to be a little bit more stable. It does seem to be a little bit more stable. I don't know if it's my imagination or it's for real, but yeah, it seems stable. All right, well, let's bring it over and plop it on down. I'll hit that button and I'll control it on the way down. Bring it over the landing pad, and there we go. Nice landing. So my conclusion from that indoor test was that the takeoff with the one without optical flow was actually better than the takeoff with the one with optical flow, because what happens is the little computer inside has to switch over to the optical flow, and then it conflicts with how it's flying, and they both argue until they get themselves straight in the air and stay still. Let me take them outside and take them for a flight, and let's see how they perform. All right, I'm outside, and the first heli we're going to try is the one with no optical flow. Let's power it on. Power on the remote, move the left joystick, and we are set to go. Now you can launch these with the takeoff and land button, but if you want, you can just pull the joysticks down and out and fly it yourself. That's what I'm going to do here, and here we go up. This is no optical flow outside in the breeze. So you see it drifts a little bit, and I have to bring it back to me. There we go. For me, it's very easy to fly because I do fly drones and I fly RC planes and I fly RC helicopters, so I can fly this with no optical flow. It's very simple, do circles, try not to chop off my head. So now the next thing I want to show you is this one with no optical flow. See, it's drifting with the wind. As you change speeds, it makes a sound. So you go speed 1, 2 beeps for speed 2, and 3 beeps for speed number 3. Here we go. That's full speed. Not super fast, but the speed that a beginner would enjoy. I like the light. Look at that. Coming back at me. I will say this heli flies amazingly well. It even banks like a true helicopter. That's pretty decent. A lot of these don't. This one actually does. Click this, and this is faster. There we go. Yeah, that's more my speed. Speed number 2. Bring it right at me at high speed. Going right by me. Try not to hit my tree. Much easier on a guy like me. I like speed number 2. All right, let's come on back and we'll go into speed number 3. Speed 3, full speed. Here we go. It does have a lot of speed to it. Watch this, I'm gonna go right beside me here. Look at that. And with that headlight, it's really good. All right, so I'm impressed. Going over and coming back to me. And bring it down even lower. Woof. It's moving. All right, let's put it back at speed 1. I'll even hit the landing thing. And I'll control it to come down on the landing pad. There we go. Now we have the heli with the optical flow, so let's power it on. Power on the remote, move the joystick up and down, and we're set to fly. Same idea, I'm in speed number 1, joysticks down and out, and here we go. Let's see if the optical flow works. It's taken a while to catch the ground. Let's bring it back. So you have to bring it back and put it over the place you want it to sit. There is a breeze out here. Let's see if it drifts. So that's optical flow and it's still drifting. And the optical flow is on. It's getting better. See now, look at it. Look at this. It's better now. Do the speeds with optical flow, see if there's a difference. Speed number 1, full blast. Nice and slow. Nope. Seems like to be the exact same speed. Come back. There we go. Try not to hit the stop sign. I fly too fast. Go with speed number 2. There we go. And crank it down the road. There we are. I see no difference in speeds. They're identical to the one without optical flow. I thought the one without optical flow would be a little bit faster. Let's go speed 3 coming at me here. And super fast. Go around. There. It's very fast. Like you can, if you know how to fly a heli, it's very fast. All right, let's bring it on back. There we go, I'm not touching anything. It's sitting there by itself. So that's with optical flow. And same idea, let's land it. I'll just control it down to the landing pad and, oh, I missed the landing pad. Now people always want to know if you can put a camera on these helis so they can go film. You can, but you have that spotlight in the front. So if you have a camera pointing forward, it hits the spotlight. You know that you got the spotlight in your image. You can't put anything too heavy. And if you use the one with the optical flow, you can't carry things underneath the optical flow or place things under the optical flow because it's going to mess up the heli. So I'll take the one without optical flow and I'll put an Insta360 Go camera on the bottom. Look at the size of this thing. So the question everybody wants to know is, can it lift a tiny little camera? And we're going to find out. The Insta360 Go, maybe you catch it in this hat cam. It's right here on the bottom. I'll power it on. So there we go. That's the image from the Insta360 Go camera. And as I mentioned, this is a spotlight. I'm putting my finger on it. That's probably in the way, as well as these skids. So not sure where you would put a camera unless you stuck it on the top canopy up here. See if it lifts it. It can just barely lift it. That's pretty cool. Well, I will say it barely lifts it, but it flies really nice. There we go. There's a car coming. I'll get out of the way. And coming back this way. So that's speed number 1. Let's see if it can do speed 2. I'm still using the same battery as when I was flying earlier, indoors and outdoors. So look at that. That's speed 2. How is that? And that's with a camera on it. This tiny little thing is carrying that camera. So it's coming right at me. Going right by. Whoa. Let's try speed 3. I'm going to take it way up. Speed 3. Here we go. Full speed. You don't get the full speed because of all the weight, but it does fly. Look at this. Right by me again. All right. Let's bring it back and land it. So put it back in speed 1. And I'll bring it over here to the landing pad. If the front spotlight starts flashing, it means your battery's low. Mine is starting to flash, so the battery's getting low. So I'll bring it down. This is me landing manually. And just hold the left joystick down and it bounces all over the place. And I hit my other heli. So the next thing I want to show you is what you get in the box if you buy either of these helis. Check it out. Here we have the box the C138 comes in. Inside the box you'll find the heli, the radio transmitter, the batteries and accessories. The heli arrives fully assembled, ready to fly, and you will note that the detail on this heli is exceptional. A spare set of blades are provided, as well as a spare tail rotor and a few tools. The 350 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery will give you about 12 minutes of flight time. You charge the battery using the included USB-C cable. Total weight of the heli with a battery is only 106 grams. Now I have the upgraded radio transmitter, and I will say the gimbals are very nice. It is powered by 4 AA batteries, not included. However, a user manual is included. Now, if at any point you crash your heli and it no longer flies correctly, just do a gyro calibration as shown here. So final thoughts are, these helis fly amazing. I mean really good. Like, I'm a guy who can fly drones, RC planes, helicopters, everything, and I really enjoyed flying these. They fly really well. It doesn't really matter if you get the optical flow one or the one without optical flow. To me, when they're flying, they fly the same. It's only when you stop flying and you want to let go of the joysticks or the controller, then the optical flow, well, the stability will click in and it will just sit there and hover and wait for you to do something else. And as I mentioned, the price for these, it's really good. It's like under $100 US until you start adding odd options, and an option is optical flow. That brings the price up. You add more batteries, you can get 3 batteries, and that adds more to the price. I was kind of spoiled. I have the upgraded joysticks on both of these remotes. If you get the remote with they're more like round circular type joysticks, very toy-like. It probably doesn't fly as well with those. So if you're going to spend money anywhere, spend money to get the upgraded remote. Now I'm going to put 2 links below for these helis to 2 different stores, and you can go check them out and find out which one in your area has the best price with the best shipping and any discount codes. So check them out. Everything is below this video, and you might be able to get these at a super low price. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I'm heading back on vacation, and when I have another free moment, I will make another video. Till then, I say bye.